What makes movies so magical? Discover the enchantment of cinema and what makes movies so magical. From iconic film scores to breathtaking cinematography, we delve into the world of movie magic, exploring the elements that transport us to new worlds, evoke powerful emotions, and leave a lasting impact on our lives. So, whether you're a film buff, a casual viewer, or simply someone who loves the art of storytelling like I do, Backstory Movies is for you. Join us as we uncover the secrets behind the magic of movies and celebrate the art form that has captivated audiences for generations. Get ready to be spellbound by the wonder of cinema and find out what makes movies so magical. So get your tickets, grab your popcorn, shop the merch, and get ready for a new cinema in movie storytelling at Backstory Movies. Visit our website at backstorymovies.com, where movies are an adventure, and shop the merch at Creativity is Expression. Well, hello everyone. Happy holidays. How is your holiday season going? Oh, well, let me ask. No, should I ask that? Have you been naughty or nice? I think that's a question I ask a lot of people. Every once in a while, are you naughty or nice? Well, if you've been naughty, well, I don't know. Santa might not have anything in store for you this year. But if you've been nice, and that's what I believe in, not just for the holidays, though, not just for the holidays, for any time. I believe it's like I look at things like this is the season, the reason for the season, like they say, but you don't make it seasonal. This isn't something that's an everyday living life type of thing. So I choose to live like the season 365 days of the year. That's what I do. That's what I do. But since I'm talking about movies, and this is the Backstory Movies podcast, this is a really an exciting episode for me because I have videos. I don't know if you checked out the video channel, but you should visit my website at backstorymovies.com. You'll find it there. And a month long. And of course, a Charlie Brown Christmas airing fully on Backstory Movies on YouTube on December 25th, your favorite day of the year. So, do you want to get right to this? We're doing Charlie Brown. And as he says in his words, this is what Christmas is all about. Ask me the question, as he says, what is Christmas all about? And really, what is it all about for you? What is it? So, for millions of people, it's the quiet, gentle heart of the holiday season. The sound of a lonely piano. You know the sound. The image of a single red ornament on a drooping branch. And the earnest voice of a child explaining what Christmas is all about. For over half a century, yes, a Charlie Brown Christmas has been a cherished sign that the holidays has arrived. Well, it has been a heartwarming story about finding the true meaning in the face of overwhelming commercialism and circumstance and worldly events and all that stuff. But what if I told you the story behind its creation was anything but quiet and gentle? What if I told you the network that aired it was convinced it was complete and utter disaster? What if I told you? This is the chaotic and probable story of how a producer with no time, a sponsor with cold feet, and a creator who refused to compromise accidentally made the most beloved Christmas special of all time. This is a story. This is the episode of how a series of choices that everyone thought was wrong somehow turned out to be perfectly right. Backstory: The Impossible Phone Call. Our story doesn't start with a heartfelt Christmas wish, but with a frantic, high stakes business call. In the spring of 1965, a TV producer named Lee Mendelson got a call that would change his life. On the other end of the line, an executive from the ad agency from the Coca Cola Company. By this point, Charles M. Schulz, Peanuts comic strip, was a global phenomenon. The characters had even been graced on the cover of Time magazine, a sure sign of its cultural impact. Coca Cola, sensing an opportunity, wanted to sponsor a family friendly Christmas program. The ad exec cut right to the chase. Have you, Mr. Schultz, considered doing a Peanuts Christmas special? Mendelssohn, who had recently made a documentary about Schultz that no Negwood wanted to buy, didn't hesitate for a second. He said, absolutely. It was a complete lie. He and Schultz had never, ever discussed a Christmas special. But Mendelssohn, desperate for a breakthrough, saw his chance. His celebration was cut short, though. The ad agency loved the idea, but there was a catch. They needed a full story outline in their Atlanta office by the following Monday. Stunned, Mendelssohn immediately called Schultz. Remember, he lied earlier. So he had to really kind of get some help and act fast. I think I just sold a Charlie Brown Christmas, he said. Schultz, famously unflappable, replied, "What's that?" Mendelssohn quickly explained the insane situation, telling him, "It's something you're going to write tomorrow." Well, he saw an opportunity to become famous and sure to make lots and lots of money. And so, with an impossible deadline looming, the two men, along with animator Bill Melendez, met to invent a classic from scratch. In a single afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, they pulled together the core elements of the story. Schultz wanted it to be about the anxieties of children's Christmas plays and the feeling that the holiday was losing its meaning, while Mendelssohn, on the other hand, inspired by a Hans Christian Andersen story, suggested the idea of a sad, misunderstood Christmas tree, a perfect parallel to Charlie Brown himself. They sketched out a bare bones outline, sent it off to the presses, and hoped for the best. A few days later, Coca Cola gave them the green light. The project was a go. But then came the second catch. Ooh. They had just 6 months to produce the entire 6 months to produce a 25-minute special. To make matters worse, the whole thing was completed in just 10 days before it was scheduled to air. In the world of animation, this timeline wasn't just tight, it was practically insanity. The budget was also incredibly small, a mere $76,000, forcing the team to innovate out of sheer necessity. The recipe for disaster: a symphony of wrong choices. Oh, where shall I begin? From the get go, the production of A Charlie Brown Christmas was a master class, okay, in breaking the rules of 1916 television. First of all, $76,000? Have it done in a day for the script? To the executives at CBS, every creative decision was just another nail in the coffin of what they saw as a doomed project. First, there was the sound, or more accurately, the lack of it. Mendelssohn initially suggested adding a laugh track, a standard feature on virtually every cartoon at the time. Charles Schultz's response was immediate and absolute. He's the creator of it. He said, absolutely not. He was convinced the audience didn't need to be told when to laugh. This decision, while artistically brave, made executives nervous about the special's slow, quiet pace. Then there was the music. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You know it. Come on now. Sing it with me. You know it. Maybe the most revolutionary part of the whole thing. Instead of a jolly standard Christmas score, Mendelssohn, a lifelong jazz fan, wanted something different. And I'm a jazz fan myself. One day, driving across the Golden Gate Bridge, he heard a song on the radio that stopped him in his tracks. Cast Your Fate to the Wind by a local pianist named Vince Guaraldi. Mendelssohn knew instantly that there was the sound of peanuts. Guaraldi came on board and composed a special iconic score, including the timeless Linus and Lucy. This was a wild choice. Back in the day, in 1965, jazz was seen as adult music, not something for kids. And not really a Christmas cartoon at that. The network hated it. Wow. The show's signature song, Christmas time is here. Da 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 da. Oh wow. I wanna go. Christmas time. Oh Christmas time. Oh Christmas time. Yes. Oh wow. Okay. We won't go there. The network hated it. Was almost, I mean, come on. With only a few weeks left, Mendelssohn felt the opening needed words. He couldn't find a lyrical or short notice. So he scribbled the now famous lyrics on the back of an envelope in about 15 minutes. Christmas time is here. Right, come on. The third and most charmingly radical choice was the voice acting. But then, child characters in cartoons were almost always voiced by adults. But Schultz and his team insisted the Peanuts gang should sound like real kids. After all, that's what Christmas is all about, the kids, right? Well, the adults are kids too, like myself. So they cast actual children, many of whom weren't professional actors. Peter Robbins, only 9 years old, was cast as Charlie Brown. And Christopher Shea voiced Linus. The actress playing Sally, Kathy Steinberg, was so young she couldn't even read yet, okay? The crew had to feed her lines one word at a time. The whole story, it was raw, but it was authentic, it was real. And sometimes slightly stilted delivery, but it was real. That was completely unique. So to the creators, it was charming. To the network, it sounded like amateur garbage. But get it? It was authentic. That's the point of it all. It was real. Wow. Even the animation style was a worry. Bill Melendez was determined to stay true to Schultz's minimalist comic strip art. This meant simple lines and sparse backgrounds. Charlie Brown's perfectly round head actually made him difficult to animate from different angles, which is partly why Snoopy, who was easier to draw, gets most of the fun action scenes. See, I didn't know that because his head was big. You couldn't quite get it from different angles, so Snoopy got more love when it came to the camera. So, to the network, it was all about the recipe for disaster, a depressing show, a slow pace, weird music, unprofessional voices, cheap looking animation. It was everything a Christmas special wasn't supposed to be. Mm. Now, the unmovable object, Linus and the Bible. Of all the creative choices that terrified the network, and I would say any network, one stood out as the most dangerous. Charles Schulz was a man of deep faith, and he was determined that the special wouldn't just be about Christmas, but about the meaning of it. For him, that meant the biblical story of the Nativity. He insisted the climax of the show had to be Linus reciting a passage directly from the Gospel of Luke. When Schulz announced this, his own partners, Mendelssohn and Melendez, got nervous. They knew that putting on overt religious text on a network TV special in a cartoon wasn't heard of. So Melendez reportedly told Schulz, it's very dangerous for us to start talking about religion now. People ain't gonna like that. We don't want that in there. The network executives were even more horrified. You can't read the Bible on a network television show, they exclaimed. They thought the scene was far too serious and demanded to be cut, arguing it would kill the mood and alienate a huge part of the audience. The pressure to take it down was massive. It was immense. But on this point, Charles Schultz would not bend. He didn't bend, he didn't break. He stayed true to his belief. He saw the growing commercialism of the holiday and felt a deep responsibility to push back. When his partners raised their concerns, you know what Schultz did? He delivered a simple, powerful ultimatum. According to both Mendelssohn and Melendez, Schultz just looked at them and said, if we don't do it, who will? Faced with Schultz's quiet, unshakable conviction, they had no choice. The scene was staying in. Linus would take the stage, ask for the spotlight, and for nearly a minute with no music, he would tell millions of people what Christmas was all about. In a beautiful symbolic touch, as Linus says the words, "Fear not," he drops his ever present security blanket. Oh, you get it? When you drop the fear, you lose that security. You lose insecurity, I should say. You're secure in Him and not in other worldly things, and not even yourself. It was a moment of profound sincerity. For the network, though, it was the final sin, the nail in the coffin. The special wasn't just a creative mistake, it was now a potential PR disaster. But get it, look at that when you watch the movie. Fear not. Then he drops the security blanket. Those are symbolisms. Love is to fear not. Oh, the screening of Doom. With the broadcast just a week away, the team screened the final cut for the CBS executives. The tension in the room was thick, so thick you can slice a knife through it. As the last notes of Hark, the Herald Angels Sing faded out, there was just dead silence. Then, one of the executives stood up and delivered the crushing verdict. Well, you gave it a good shot, he said before telling Mendelssohn. We'll have to air it, but I'm afraid it's just not very good. And believe me, we're big Peanuts fans, but maybe it's better suited to the comic page. Their complaints were a laundry list of every unconventional choice the creators had made. Too slow, wrong music, amateur voices, and a huge mistake with a religious ending. The judgment was clear. This would be the first and last Peanuts special. We wouldn't get to see anymore. Okay? That's what would have happened. They would air it once to O'Hara, the commitment to Coca-Cola, and then it would be buried forever. But the worst part? You want to know what the worst part is? Or was? Mendelssohn and Melendez secretly agreed. After the screening, Melendez turned to Mendelssohn and said, I think we've killed it. We've ruined Charlie Brown. They were convinced they had a bomb in their hands. The story goes that only one person in the room, an animator, disagreed, standing up to declare, you guys are crazy. This is going to run for hundreds of years. At the time, everyone thought he, whoever he was crazy. One person stood up and said, I see this. I see the future of this cartoon. I see the impact of it. But they were the ones holding the cards. Mendelssohn and Melendez, they were the ones deciding what gets aired, what does not. So, Christmas, we have a Christmas miracle. You want one? On December 9th, guess what happened in 1965? The team braced for the worst. They expected terrible reviews for the show to vanish into thin air. But then, something miraculous happened. The American public didn't just watch a Charlie Brown Christmas, they fell in love with it. The ratings were staggering. An estimated 15.4 billion households And that, by any estimates today in 2025, is incredible for a show back then, which meant nearly half of all television sets, that's only 30 million sets at that time, were watching. The show was phenomenal. Overnight success, becoming the second most watched program of the week. The reviews poured in and were nearly unanimous in their praise. Critics and audiences celebrated the very things the network hated. They loved its quiet, gentle pace and mature tone, which admitted that the holidays can bring complicated feelings, and it does. It does. Mixed emotions. They were captivated by Vince Guaraldi's sophisticated jazz score, which has since become one of the best selling jazz albums of all time. I kid you not. They found the music authentic, slightly clumsy voices of children, but to be completely charming and authentic. And far from being offended, viewers were deeply moved by the sincere inclusion of the biblical story. They were not offended, embracing Linus's speech as the profound heart of the special. Fear not. And then he dropped his security blanket. The network executives were floored. The disaster they predicted was a cultural phenomenon. They immediately ordered more peanut specials and committed to airing a Charlie Brown Christmas for years to come. The show went on to win a Peabody and an Emmy Award, cementing its status as a critical and commercial triumph. So, really, in the end, the story of Charlie Brown's Christmas isn't just about a TV special, it's a lesson in accidental genius. You have the shoestring budget, the insane deadline, a pile of wrong creative choices didn't ruin it. They made it what it is today. Out of chaos, calm happens. Things like that happen. Creativity can be a messy thing, but in the end, it can produce some amazing things. Its simplicity, its sincerity, and its quiet courage to defy every rule are exactly why it has endured for generations, becoming a cherished tradition. The very things that were supposed to make it fail became the secret to its timeless appeal. The little special that everyone thought was a disaster turned out to be a Christmas miracle after all. So, my question to you is, what is your favorite memory of watching a Charlie Brown Christmas? Let me know in the comments below. And for more exciting stories and many of your favorites, check out the blog, my new blog at backstorymovies.com. And be sure to subscribe. Backstorymovies.com, where movies are an adventure. Yes, they are. So I hope you enjoy and have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Christmas day. And don't forget to check out my special, my version of a Charlie Brown Christmas on YouTube on December 25th, Christmas Day. And of course, throughout the month. So you better be watching. You better be watching this stuff. Okay? And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and like I said earlier, Christmas is all about, what is Christmas all about? Well, again, let Charlie Brown tell you. Let him tell you, because that's what it should be all about, not just for the holiday season of December or November, but how about January, February, March, April, May, June, and July, and so on. How about that? Okay? So I hope you enjoy this special and look forward to some new podcasts next month. Yeah, some new episodes next month, some more backstory from the backstorymovies.com. And check out our website, my other website, where you can shop the merch at Creativity's Expression. Creativityisexpression.com for all your merch needs for a great movie to sit back and relax to and listen to. But you're going to enjoy this blog. Incredibly amazing. And I just completed it. I wouldn't say completed it. I'm still writing constantly, but it's out now. So I hope you enjoy it. And of course, I am your host, Annette, a creative expression right here Enjoy it. Enjoy.